out of the over 1,000 videos, after days of investigating, they gave my official legal counsel, my half-Asian lawyer, Bill Richmond, 2 examples.
Yeah.
By the way, it doesn't even say where in the episode something was offensive. And we've said this is, of course, incredibly ineffective. This is not a complete list. It's far from comprehensive. We need to know what's going on. Well, they haven't answered. But you've already run the investigation, YouTube. Are you inept or are you just being dishonest? The fact is, it's going to be harder and harder for them to find anything. They're trying to scrape for something. And honestly, I thought it would be easier. I mean, half the time when people say, did you, and they present me with a quote, I go, ooh, that reads rough, but sounds like me. Like, I don't run from it.
It's exactly what I used to say all the time. Yeah, it sounds like me. Probably. Yeah. I don't remember it. I create so much content. I mean, we've said millions of words, and a lot, and most of it, if not all of it, is unscripted, unplanned. Yeah, right. Probably said something stupid from time to time. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The issue is no one knows the rules. No one knows the guidelines. And what they're doing is capitulating to people who scream the loudest.
They're saying that it doesn't matter what the guidelines even are. They've now formalized, we're just whatever we feel. Whatever we feel.
Well, and here's also the problem, too. I think conservatives make the wrong argument when they just say censorship. This is corporate censorship. This is bullying and corporate intimidation because, listen, you have $1 billion, Vox, or you have like Young Turks, 20 million from, Al Jazeera, Qatar. We're funded by porcelain campfire mugs, for crying out loud. So when you compare it, it really is favoring the big sort of media conglomerates. That's what we're dealing with. And something else here that I think is at play that people need to understand is YouTube built their entire platform off the backs of original content creators. So when we started on YouTube, my brother actually was one of the first original partners. In 2006, there was a lot of competition, Glenn. There was, I think, LiveLeak. There were a bunch of other websites. Now, what did YouTube do? This was before they were purchased from Google. They said, you know what? We know that we know that you have many other options. Thank you for flying Qantas. They said, we know that you have other options when it comes to uploading your video content. We've never created original content. This is entirely user-based. So here's what we'll do. If you promise us that you'll upload your content to YouTube, we're going to share the revenue with you. And what did that do? That eliminated all competition because YouTube was the only place that would do a revenue split. Great, free market. Then when they grow big enough and NBC Universal or Disney comes in and wants to take advantage of this platform, they pull the rug out from under the people who have built the platform. Come to us, we'll pay you. That's how they beat the competition. Then they say, all right, we're no longer going to pay you and we're going to ban you. You courted our business. You told us this is where you wanted us, and now you're giving us the boot without giving us any rules, without giving us any clear guidelines. It's dishonest business practices. That's what's going on here.
You know, it's the same way, though. I mean, Facebook is a company that has never received more free advertising. I don't know of another company that has received as much free advertising. And when Facebook first started, the deal was, and they would ask us, they courted us. They would fly into our offices and say, hey, here's how you do it. Here's how we can help you. Blah, 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 blah. Let's build a community. Help us build this community. It's a direct relationship with you and your listeners and your viewers. It was fantastic. That's great. Now, I can't even get to the millions of people who went and said, I want Glenn Beck's opinion. I want his posts. I can't get to them. They're banning me from them.
I know they're banning you from your fans. These aren't people who are protesting you. It's like, hey, I want to know what he's saying. No, we can't allow that to happen. Why is that, Zuckerberg? Must drink water. The guy is just so... I'm not convinced that he wasn't sent back from Skynet. Same thing with YouTube. By the way, let me be really clear about this. I would take completely... Well, I can't say I would take... We've already been completely demonetized. Like, let's be honest. I've lost my cards there. But I would be glad in taking complete, total demonetization if it just meant that we still got to reach the viewers that have subscribed to the channel.
Correct.
Number one conservative YouTube channel of all time, highest interaction rates of any news channel out there. So that's really the hill that I'm willing to die on. It doesn't seem like right now they sent us an email saying none of that has changed. We haven't been classified as borderline content.
Oh, you will be.
So we'll wait and see. Well, you never know. They've kind of backed themselves into a corner, and I don't think they anticipated the backlash. This is true. I think.
I tell you, Stephen, The Blaze is borderline content. Glenn Beck, borderline content. I mean, it is just a matter of time. You are the lightning rod like right now, and they will. I mean, when people were coming after Alex Jones, And
Right.
I stood for him. I think you stood for him too, didn't you?
Yeah, I agree with him on almost nothing, but I had him on my show and talked about
right.
it.
Exactly right. I don't like the guy. I don't agree with him, but I stood up for him. And people who didn't like, well, he's Alex Jones. He's crazy. Okay, wait until they come for somebody you like. Well, they just have. They just have. Right. And it is growing exponentially, and they are getting bolder and bolder. And
well, here's the problem, too, though. I think they really backed themselves into a corner because with this purge, keep in mind, too, when they released, now we have new policies for white supremacists, and Vox considers Tucker Carlson a white supremacist. They consider Nigel Farage a white supremacist.
Right.
So they said, we've purged thousands of videos. Keep in mind that at least 1,000 of those videos are this guy's. So when you read about the thousands of videos purged under white supremacist label, and there's no delineation, I'm one of those notorious pro-Israel white supremacists with a biracial producer. That's
right.
That's me.
Right.
I meet with the Klan on Sundays. It really is remarkable. But now the thing is, they've used these guys. They've now started completely booting history channels that simply cover historical events. They started booting news channels, many of which are left that simply cover right issues. And a lot of these people are now pushing back. This is the first time I will say this, Glenn. The the Vox adpocalypse was trending all night last night, and the backlash from not conservatives, but from the entire entertainment and YouTube creator community, this is the first time this has happened where they've banded together, was so much worse than an angry gentleman and scholar of Latino origin who happens to be attracted to the same sex, which is brave and beautiful at Vox. The backlash was so much worse from I don't want you to get put on borderline here, Glenn. I'm looking
Thank
out
you.
for
I appreciate
guys.
it. No, I appreciate it.
It's so much worse than they anticipated just coming from Media Matters that I think now they're going to have to readjust, or they know that they are going to hemorrhage users. And for people out there, you need to understand this. YouTube, their currency is their user. Their currency is their viewer, okay? And their currency is only as valuable as the trust that the viewer has in the platform. And right now, that trust is degrading very quickly, and I don't think they anticipated it. This guy, let me one more point here. This is just hysterical to me.
Quickly.
The Vox guy said YouTube was supposed to be a queer space. What? 2%, he used the word queer, by the way, not me. It's hate speech if I say it, but he used the words queer space. That's 2% of population Earth. 50% of population Earth is conservative. And if you look at people who don't believe that conservatives should be milkshaked or banned, you're probably looking at 7.5 at least. YouTube's supposed to be a space for everyone. So if YouTube capitulates here, it's not about YouTube siding with the left. It's about them siding with the 2% versus the 98%. We need to keep that in perspective.